Kia ora, I'm Mike Carroll, the founder and principal consultant with Brightly. Brightly are a technology solutions company. We're a purpose-driven company that help organisations with their technology strategy, governance, cybersecurity and managed services. So basically acting as people's IT team or their IT advisors. If we do a good job helping our customers, then their teams are more productive, they're happier, they have less frustration with technology, and they're getting a lot more value out of it. We're a team of 10 now, so we've been growing, especially over the last couple of years. My co-founder Annie and I both had a 20-year career in IT across corporates and other providers, and quite often IT is not provided in a very kind of human-focused way. Starting a company was a combination for us of how do we want to change things in terms of the way IT and technology services were provided, how do we use what we can do to have a really positive impact. From my point of view, you can't have a positive impact on the environment without bringing social equity into it, because you'll fail. And so when we look at our positive impact, we look at it in three ways. One is the way in which we run the company. So we set up the company to be as environmentally efficient as possible. So we work from the grid, which is a green co-working space. We have a fleet of e-bikes. We subsidise public transport for the team. And then we also look at the social aspect in terms of how we look after our team, how we encourage diversity and inclusion, strong development pipelines for people, and just be a really good company to work for. The second aspect that we look at is how we work in with our customers. We're a small company, but our customers are often much, much larger than us. And so if we can influence them in terms of their efficiency, so whether it's automating solutions, supporting their remote working, that has a much bigger impact than what we can do for ourselves. And where we can, we influence their technology choices around, for example, do they need to buy a new device or could they upgrade an existing one? Are the devices that they're buying upgradable and repairable? And making sure that at the end of that device's life, that it comes back as either donated and repurposed or it's responsibly recycled. So we take care of all of that for our customers as well. And then the third aspect that we look at is what we call our direct impact. And so that's where we actually donate 1% of our revenue to non-profits, and that's in support of both social and environmental initiatives. And then we offer B Corp, social enterprises and non-profits a discount on our services as well, and provide pro bono services to organisations that are out there trying to do good. B Corp's been an absolutely key part of our company. One of the big things for us starting out was how do we actually know if we're doing a good job? We'd looked at a lot of the leading B Corps at the time and could see that they were running responsible companies, and it was the best standard out there that we could see that gave you a holistic view of your company. When we started, it was a fantastic framework for us to use because it goes right across your organisation in terms of your governance, your workers, and as we've grown, a lot of the things that we put in place early because of the B Corp framework have made it much easier for us to grow efficiently. It's been a huge part of how we've been able to grow the team. So we use Microsoft 365 for our email and productivity tools, where we use Teams all day, every day. Depending on the customers, we have a variety of tools we have in place for helping manage IT environments. And then we use Salesforce as our sales and service platform. So managing both our sales pipeline and also all of the support requests that come in for customers, the customer portal is all built on Salesforce. At the core of the platform is a CRM, customer relationship management system, but it's hugely extensive in terms of what you can then add into it. So for us, it was about the customer service journey, how we manage support requests and processes, but also ensuring that we can, for example, track all of the products and cloud services. As we work more into the future, it's also going to help us track our impact from within Salesforce. We started using Toitū's Carbon Assess tool, which is a self-reporting online tool. And late last year, we went through the next stage for us, which was to go for climate positive certification with Toitū. Going for the full climate positive certification means you look beyond your immediate impact and you actually look at your whole supply chain. And so for us, and probably with most organisations, our supply chain is 10 times our internal impact in terms of our carbon footprint. And so that's where the biggest opportunity for us is. It's like with living wage, for example. We've been a living wage employer, and as a tech professional services company, that doesn't necessarily seem like it would be a hard thing to do, but it does mean you need to take into account all of your contractors, all the service providers. So for us, that meant making sure that the grid cleaning contractors, for example, are paid a living wage. If you can't pay people a living wage, you shouldn't be in business. And for us, it's the same thing in terms of climate impact, in terms of social impact. What we're trying to get to is that everyone understands the impact of their business, and we work together to make sure that we can actually do it in a sustainable way. And rather than an extractive, that's all someone else's problem and we'll just maximize profit, that we're actually looking at the big picture and working together for that. It's not about ticking boxes, it's about being able to sleep at night, being able to tell my kids, yeah, you know what, there were some big issues, we didn't ignore them, we fronted up, we couldn't change everything, but we did what we could. And I want to know that at the end of the day, we've done everything we can to change course, because the course we're on at the moment, as businesses and as individuals, is hugely destructive. So we need to change that around, and we need to work together to do that.